I'll be candid with you. Yesterday, a friend of mine asked me, what's your next interview? And I said, oh, I'm, speaking to Bajaj, Mr. Bajaj. And the guy said, oh, dum hai bande mein. So I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he's got guts to speak to you, right? And that is the sense.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I tell you what my experience is. In fact, very similar to yours. I shared with someone yesterday that kal 12 baje I'm speaking with Rahul and this thing. And the first reaction was, don't do it. I said, but why not? Nahi mat karna, this can get you into trouble. I said, but I may have said some things perhaps a little too vehemently, but I have said it on Indie TV. I have said it on in the Economic Times newspaper. I have said it on Aaj Tak. I have said it on so many channels, so many media. So, अब गलती है तो फिर गलती हो चुकी है, एक और बार हो गया है. जैसे नहीं, मीडिया में बोलना एक बात है, बट राहुल गांधी से बातें करना एक दूसरा बात है. So then I pushed that actually a bit. I'll tell you very candidly. I said, yaar, we are going to talk about business, economics, lockdown, what to do, how to move forward, technology, products. He loves motorcycles. I'm sure he will talk about motorcycles, etc. अब ये बातें भी नहीं हो सकती है क्या? So that person maintained that why take a risk?
Do you think this sort of mahal that you spoke about of fear damages business in any way?
देखिए, nobody will invest unless he does so with enthusiasm and confidence. तो इसमें तो कोई डाउट है नहीं. अब सवाल ये उठता है हिंदुस्तान में कि if 100 people are afraid to speak up, the first point is perhaps 90 of them anyway have something to hide. See, we must also accept that in the last few years, towards, I would say, UPA 2 and NDA 1, a lot of skeletons have come out of the cupboard also. So businessmen are also not doodh ka dhula hua, So, and so many examples we have seen of that. So maybe, I mean, my view is a lot of people don't speak, unlike, if I may say so, somebody like my father, simply because perhaps they can't afford to speak, So it may be fear, but the question is fear of what? Maybe they have a fear of hiding something. Second, I would say there are people, and I think, I think highly of such people who do not want to speak, who simply do not want to, because they cannot deal with the backlash that comes their way. And I think a little bit I fall into that category. I mean, there's a reason I'm not on any social media. And without naming a couple of channels, I will say to you that even yesterday, I had an invite from the most prominent channel that is very pro-government, if I may say so. And I refuse to be on such channels because, the kind of stuff one hears on social media or the way one sees things conducted in panels on such channels, this is deeply distressing to anybody who is remotely sensitive. So I think, yes, in terms of being tolerant, in terms of being sensitive, I think India needs to mend a couple of things.
Final question. Now we're in the process of opening up. How do you think about your supply chain as we open up? When does your supply chain actually start to function at a reasonable level? What
Rahul,
opening up do we require?
See, I am not seeing that smooth, concerted, rhythmic movement towards unlocking. Yes, I understand based on what I have heard yesterday also that we are moving in that direction. But I think a kind of aligned approach that is required. One person will say one thing. I don't know whether that is to be the chief minister of the state or the DM or whoever it is supposed to be. And everybody in an aligned way must go forward. This is not happening. And I think the blame for this rests again with the kind of fear we created in the first place, that infection is equal to death. And today, as infections rise, people are still carrying this thing. So I'm sorry, I'm not answering your question directly, but I am really distressed because it is a Herculean task to open up. I think the first problem is to get this fear out of the minds of the people. There has to be a very clear, aligned narrative, I would say, from the Prime Minister, because right or wrong, when he says something, people seem to follow. I think he needs to stand up and say to everyone that this is how we are going to move forward. It's all under control. Do not fear infections. No, almost nobody is dying, and we have to move forward now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Rajiv. Lovely.
Thank you so much.